Live from the CBS Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is CBS2 News at 5 p.m.
You hear boom, 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 and I just ran as fast as I could.
Terror at a Texas high school. A heavily armed student shoots 10 people dead after shouting surprise and unleashing a volley of gunfire inside a classroom. The high school massacre also wounded 10 others as students and teachers ran for their lives.
A school resource officer was also shot before the suspect was taken into custody in Santa Fe, Texas, outside of Houston.
Now, here's what we know right now. 17-year-old Demetrius Pagorchis has been charged with capital murder. Investigators say he used a sawed-off shotgun and .38 revolver in the massacre.
Both weapons belong to his father. The suspect wrote out his plans, including a plan to commit suicide after the shooting. And CBS 2's Sandra Mitchell joins us live now with more on what the Texas governor called a heinous crime. Sandra.
Yeah, Pat, Suzanne, it really is. It's happened again, but there was a twist this time. The alleged gunman planted explosive devices in the area at the school even before he went on that shooting rampage. And take a look at what just happened. We have this video just into the newsroom. The suspect made his first court appearance. This is less than an hour ago. That's him right there wearing that gray short-sleeved jail jumpsuit. As you can see, he kept his head down. He did listen to the charges. The 17-year-old is charged with capital murder. He's charged with attempted murder and aggravated assault on a public servant. The suspected gunman also asked for a court-appointed attorney today.
Students were in their first period classes when the shooting started.
I was really scared, and I was struggling to keep calm. I heard so many people saying that, like, there was gunshots and that, like, people were dead, and I didn't know what to think. I was, like, shaking. My anxiety was bad.
Someone pulled the fire alarm, but then there was gunshots.
I was scared for my life. Nobody should go through this. Nobody should be able to feel that in school. 9
students and 1 teacher were killed. The suspected shooter has been identified as 17-year-old Demetrius Pagorchis. Investigators say he walked into an art class at Santa Fe High School and started shooting. He had a rifle and a .38 caliber.
Several more shots. He's actually shooting. He's in the art room. We got shots fired right now, guys. We need all of you.
Witnesses described the terror.
A teacher was telling us to go, 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 and then, you know, it's like instinct. You're scared, you're traumatized, so you're running as fast as you can.
Officials found explosive devices at the school and in surrounding areas and are warning locals to look out for other dangerous devices.
One was a CO2 device. Another was a Molotov cocktail.
More than a dozen other people also were injured, including the suspected shooter.
I didn't have any problems with him. I thought he was a cool guy. He was an interesting guy. He was very, very smart.
Students say the suspect wore a trench coat to school almost every day, and that's where he reportedly hid his weapons.
It's really scary. Really, really scary.
And police right now in Santa Fe, Texas, are apparently questioning 2 other people. One of them, they say, had some suspicious behavior, but right now, nobody else has been arrested. Pat?
All right, thanks for that, Sandra. And our coverage continues at 6 with much more on the Texas shooter and what was found on his social media.
And at 6:30, the CBS Evening News with Jeff Glor will have more live from the scene in Texas.
Breaking news now in Southeast LA County, where a high school's on lockdown because a murder suspect is on the loose. Deputies are going door to door in the neighborhood around Bellflower High School to track him down. This is the man that they're looking for. He is considered armed and dangerous. We're hoping to have a picture. There he is. Deputies have told those living along Alondra Boulevard near the high school to stay inside until they give the all clear.
An arrest in a murder mystery. The suspect accused of stabbing a 66-year-old woman to death at the Rolling Hills Estates Mall was caught more than 100 miles away in Victorville. This evening, we know the accused killer's name and her apparent motive. CBS 2's Dave Lopez is live in Rolling Hills Estates with more on the suspect. Dave.
Well, her name is Cherie Townsend, and they say the motive was robbery, and they say that it was stranger on stranger, that there was no clue whatsoever that she knew the woman that she murdered. It happened in that parking lot right behind me on the 3rd of May that is still rocking this community because they haven't had a murder here in almost 9 years.
Very kind, very sweet, very loving.
Great, innocent woman.
go through such a horrific death is certainly beyond words.
The stepsons of 66-year-old murder victim Susan Leeds, who was viciously stabbed to death on May 3rd, right around noon, in the Promenade Shopping Center parking lot in Rolling Hills Estates. In custody, a 39-year-old woman who was arrested in Victorville, Cherie Townsend.
We believe that the motivation for this crime was robbery and that Mrs. Leeds was randomly chosen.
This is a picture of Mrs. Leeds taken from a security camera as she was headed to her car on that afternoon. And this is security video from the downstairs parking lot. It's from a distance, but detectives say in the upper portion you could see a figure. They believe that that's Mrs. Leeds getting into her Mercedes. Another figure is that of Miss Townsend, right at the time she was stabbing her to death. And the video clearly shows that there was foot traffic and even some cars going by. That's why detectives are asking people to please look back, think hard. Did you see anything unusual if you were here that day?
As of today, we do not have an eyewitness to this crime.
A murder in this area has not occurred in more than 9 years, and that was a hit, according to detectives. And for a while, they thought that this also was a target murder.
That leads us to believe that this incident wasn't a random act.
Homicide detectives at a Facebook Live briefing on May 8th. They would not comment on why they now believe this was, in fact, a random act.
To
Did
keep
you ever feel
going.
uncomfortable?
Yes, I did. Of course I did. It makes you a little scary around here, and kind of you're looking around a lot more.
So again, a 39-year-old woman in custody. We will not show you her picture because detectives would not release one, saying that it is still too critical in the investigation. There's still a lot more work to do. In fact, they were very evasive about just about every question on what led to this arrest, what evidence was here that led them to Victorville. All we were told is that they were following her, and this morning they swooped in on a sidewalk where she was walking and made the arrest. Very uneventful. And now she's in custody, $1 million bail. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Dave Lopez, thanks for that. Now, there was an angry confrontation over gender at a bathroom in a local Denny's. It was streamed live on Facebook.
That confrontation happened at a Denny's in Koreatown. The video has now gone viral.
And that's where CBS2's Amy Johnson is with reaction. And Amy, you spoke to the woman who took the video, huh?
That's right, Pat and Suzanne. Her name is Jasmina Saavedra, and she says that she live streamed the encounter inside of this Denny's restaurant for proof of what happened and for her protection. Others say she was just being a bully, trying to embarrass a transgender person.
I'm trying to use the ladies' room with a man inside saying he's a lady.
Jasmina Saavedra live streamed this encounter at a Denny's restaurant Tuesday when she got upset about a person she thought was a man using the women's restroom.
You're inviting my privacy.
Excuse me, I was using the toilet. How to invade your...
Why are you
signaling me out, lady, for no reason?
We need to have a proof that women are in danger.
The mother and grandmother is running for the 44th Congressional District.
As a woman, I have the right to feel comfortable and secure in a private restaurant. Next time, use the men's room.
I think this video shows who is the victim actually in this video and who is the person who is harassing and discriminating against.
Mariana Mariquin is the program manager for the Trans Wellness Center.
I was in shock. It's painful because I'm part of the community, and I think we need to keep talking about this.
She says people need to understand the law.
You use the restroom that is you identify with. That's the right in California. And I think that's something that she needs to be informed, especially when she's running for office.
Saavedra's video has been viewed by thousands of people. You feel good about what you did?
Of course.
And for people who say that you shouldn't have done that?
Well, first of all, the law shouldn't be passed.
Denny's released a statement that reads in part, "There is no place for discrimination of any kind in our restaurants. We do apologize to our transgender guests and others in the restaurant that had to endure another customer's disrespectful behavior." Now, Saavedra says that she wants those bathroom laws changed. Mariquin says she wants Saavedra to come to the Trans Wellness Center so she can better understand transgender people and what they have to endure every time they need to use a restroom. Send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Amy. The Trump administration is expected to bring back a Reagan-era rule that would ban discussion of abortions inside federally funded family planning clinics. Sources tell the Washington Post the rule would require facilities receiving federal funds to be separate from those that perform abortions. It would also eliminate the requirement that women with unintended pregnancies be counseled on their options. Several lawmakers believe this is a plan to gut Planned Parenthood.
I think this is an issue that should enrage the American public, particularly women, because it's an attack on them. I don't know why members of Congress feel like it's their job to tell women what to do with their health care.
This is a pro-life administration, and we've been really delighted with how the president has been faithful to his campaign promises.
Well, more than 200 lawmakers sent an opposition letter to the Department of Health and Human Services, which hasn't officially announced the proposed change.
Police in Florida say this man walked into one of President Trump's golf resorts, went on an anti-Trump rant, then opened fire at the ceiling. When officers arrived on the grounds of Trump National Doral near Miami, they got into a shootout with 42-year-old Jonathan Audi, who was wounded, then arrested. One officer broke his arm. Court records show no felony arrests, but a long list of misdemeanor traffic violations.
And developing news out of Cuba, where we have learned there are at least 3 survivors of a plane crash at Havana's International Airport. More than 100 others were killed when something went wrong with the Cubana de Aviación Boeing 737 jet during takeoff. It plunged into a farm field. Authorities also revealed the plane was built in 1979.
More dangerous lava from Hawaii's Kilauea volcano spills onto the streets of the Big Island, burning down everything in its path. Another explosion from one of several fissures boomed across the area. Winds helped out somewhat by pushing much of the ash plume away from people, but officials are still handing out masks to people as a precaution. Geologists warn the worst may be coming, with the possibility of boulders the size of cows shooting out.
Well, we have breaking news here, a 4-car crash along the 405 near Wilshire.
Stu Mundell is live in Sky 2. Stu?
4 cars and 8 patients. LA City Fire here earlier on, taking the injured away from this area. You can see it happen southbound 405 right before the Wilshire off-ramp. It's in the carpool lane. Right now, the 2 cars are on a wrecker, and they're waiting for another tow truck to arrive. The carpool lane's taken away. Southbound 405, it's actually doing kind of well, even though this crash is here. You can see traffic moving smoothly. California Highway Patrol says carpool lane may be opened soon. Live in Sky 2 over the Westwood area. I'm Stu Mundell. Back to you 2 in the studio.
All right, thank you, Stu. Now the search for answers in that Orange County building explosion. The latest on the investigation.
Plus, looking for a job? A local company with a spark for unique sales is looking to hire. We'll explain. Also,
the countdown is on for the royal wedding. Final preparations underway. Coming up, we will take you here to the town of Windsor.
Got to be careful, get a bird in that hat. Hey, everybody, coming up. It's nice, though. Talk about the weather. It's in the weekend. It's on the way.